Hi, Jeff Wright here, President CEO, South Bend Regional Chamber. We're continuing our candidate interviews. I'm sitting down today with candidate for St. Joseph County Council District B, Amy Drake. Amy, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Jeff.
Great. Well, we're doing these just a chance to give our members a chance to get to know candidates better. If folks haven't had a chance to meet you yet, Amy, tell us a little bit about who Amy Drake is.
Well, right now, my main job is mother. I have 7 kids. I have been home the whole time raising my kids for the last 20 years, and I've homeschooled them. I usually homeschool till about 7th grade. So I have 2 kids left at home that I homeschool. So that is my primary job. I also pay attention to government, but that's not my main thing.
Great. Well, good. So, Amy, you're busy being a mom and doing school and all that kind of stuff. You make the decision to run for county council. Talk a little bit about what inspired you to seek a county council seat.
Okay, well, my background is actually politics. One of my first jobs out of college was working for Congress. I started out working for the Census Subcommittee, and then I moved to the Speaker of the House's office, and I did speech writing because my background is journalism. That's what I have my degree in. So once I had my first kid, I wanted to be home, so that was my priority. I stopped working. Now, fast forward 20 years, my oldest is 20. I've kind of started repaying attention to politics, but at a local level. And I've really loved the fact that at the local level, you can really get involved. Your voice is heard, you can make decisions, and that's not always the same at the federal level. So that's really what's inspired me to run. I think that my ability to be engaged and active and make a change is really, right there.
Great. Amy, when people are paying attention to elections and politics and such, oftentimes they're paying attention to the big races, right? The governor and the senator and president and all that kind of stuff. But maybe don't pay as much attention to the local races. And so you're running for a local office. Folks who aren't familiar with a St. Joseph County Council and why the council is important and why they should care about this race. Tell them a little bit about the St. Joseph County Council and why this race should matter to them.
Well, so the St. Joseph County Council is, like I said, my background's Congress. Well, St. Joseph County Council is basically your Congress for the county, and they make your laws and they spend your money. People don't all pay attention, but when you start looking around, you start to realize who these people are in office. And it is good to know who they are because they're making decisions that affect our lives. They're making decisions that affect our, how our streets are getting done, how our police forces, how many police we've got on the streets and those kind of things, how much money, we're spending in taxes, those kind of things. So it is important to pay attention to see who your people are and to know who you're putting in office to make the decisions for you.
Great. Amy, we mentioned that you're running for District B. For folks who aren't familiar with it, whereabouts is District B in St. Joseph County? B as in boy.
So District B is Clay Township. So I usually tell people it's all the way down Cleveland from the mall till about 933. I've got Notre Dame campus. I've got St. Patrick's County Park. So that's kind of my general region.
Great. Sounds good. So Amy, as we look forward and you're out campaigning and such, and you think about should Amy get elected to county council, talk to us a little bit about the things that in your mind would be priorities for you should you get elected to the spot.
Usually when I'm going door to door, and I've gone door to door, I've hit probably 4,000 doors, and people really just want their basic services covered. They want to make sure their streets are safe, that that the police are out there, that they're keeping the community safe, and they want their streets done. They want to make sure that there's not snow, that there's not leaves all over, that the potholes aren't done. So those are just basic priorities, but those are things that we all care about. Again, not spending too much money. One thing I'll say is one thing that I'm kind of focused on is throughout COVID, we've gotten a lot of money thrown at us from the federal government. I mean, at one point, I think our last hit was something like 1/3 of our county budget was like in the 50 millions. I just don't think we can necessarily sustain that kind of spending in the future. So I think we have to kind of look at our budget, make sure that, we don't try to continue that kind of spending, although we had it with this COVID money.
Great. Amy, I want to stay on the budget discussion there for just a second. You talked briefly about the county council, making important decisions here locally about how dollars are spent. Obviously, that's not an unlimited pot. There's lots of priorities. You mentioned that neighbors have a lot. And you talk to a little bit about how Amy, as a council person, balances sort of the needs of the community and the resources available to help meet those needs.
Well, again, it's just focusing on those same things. It's not like looking at all these little things that we can fund. A lot of people are going to come to you for all kinds of things that they want. But again, hit your priorities. What are the things that we all need in common in our community? And again, it's our streets, it's our police, it's our county parks, it's all those things that we share. Maybe sidewalks. These are the things that people want.
Right. Great. Amy, talk to us for a second. So you've made the decision to live here, to raise your family here and such. If you were talking to folks from outside the area, or a business, or whoever, about why they ought to come to St. Joseph County, put your sales hat on for a second and tell us a little bit about the message that you would share with them.
Well, originally, I'm from the outside of Chicago area. My husband is from here. He grew up here on St. Peter Street near Notre Dame. And we originally thought we were going to be in the Chicago area because my husband's a lawyer, but we ended up here instead. He got a law job here in South Bend to start. And, I'm so happy that we did end up here because the community is excellent, but the cost of living is great, much better than it would have been in the Chicagoland area. So we have a nice community of people, and I hope that like when we're out there, legislating and working on how to make our county better. We want to be bringing jobs to this area so that more people want to live here. As a mom, I want my kids to come back here. I want their grandkids to come back here. So it's like, what kind of things can we do here to make our community attractive to get people, staying here and raising their families here into the future?
Great. Amy, as we're looking ahead, 4 years from now, and a lot of suggestions on what might be happening in the economy, different kind of things. Any challenges come to mind? Things that we should have on our radar? Things that it's going to be, really critical that we have good, sound council people to make decision making on. Any, like I say, challenges come to mind?
Well, again, I think it's making sure that we just stay attractive as a county to keep people here. I know that there's a hard, that it's hard to attract workforce right now, and I think a lot of the companies are feeling that. So making sure that we're investing in things that make people want to be here, to live here, to me that's one of the most important things.
Great. Amy, you've been out on the campaign trail now. As you mentioned, you're getting to know folks in the community. First, time you got public office?
And I'll say
Is
that
this the
again.
first time you? Is this the first time you've sought public office?
It is the first time I've sought public
Yeah.
office.
So I'm more interested in just observations. What's the experience been like, seeking public office and getting to know constituents out in your district?
Well, I'll tell you the one reason I never wanted to run for political office is I never wanted to have to speak publicly, and I never wanted to have to knock on people's doors. Both of those things were outside my comfort level. But I have learned to kind of surmount those things, and it's been great to go out there and meet people because you literally, when you have to go door to door, you learn every street in your district, and you really get a feel for what those people in your area think. And it's different region to region. And so it's a really important exercise to do it. So I'm really happy that I've done it, and I'm glad that I put myself through the challenges of making me do things that were uncomfortable. But I think it's given me, a good understanding of my district.
Great. So Amy, in a real are going to go to the ballot, and they're going to make a choice for who should represent them on the St. Joseph County Council moving forward. Tell them why they should pick Amy Drake to represent them.
Well, I'm interested, I'm passionate. I want the best for our families. And, one other thing is I'm the only mom with kids that are, of school age who would be on the council, which, I think it's just an added benefit. There's a lot of moms out there, they're busy, they're working, they're raising their own kids. And I think they want to see a mom, on the county council to make decisions for their community.
Great. All right. She's Amy Drake. She's a candidate for St. Joseph County Council District B. Amy, thank you so much for spending some time with us today, and good luck here in the next few weeks.
Thanks so much, Jeff.